my name is Big Mac and welcome to my channel. Today's video is gonna be about my absence and where I've been and what I've been up to and why I haven't been recording videos. All of that under a nice one episode of this vlog on my channel. So I hope you enjoy it and well, let's get started. Let's talk about where I've been. It's gonna be a bit of a heavy video, I guess you could say, just because I'm gonna be talking about some subjects that hit close to home for me. So I've been dealing with depression and anxiety for a long time. For about 10 years, since I was in middle school. The first time I could ever remember being depressed was in middle school. And I tried to reach out to my therapist, but that didn't really work out. Because the therapist was a bit of a... she wasn't very good. She was a counselor, so she dealt mostly with like school issues, but she didn't really help me. And I just kind of kept it to myself for years. I tried to not let it affect me that much. It came and went. And along with the depression was suicidal ideation. And that's a very touchy subject. But I'm here to be honest with you guys. The depression and suicidal ideation had continued for years. You wouldn't be able to tell, in all honesty. I didn't talk about it unless I got really low. So I just kind of kept it to myself. I internalized it all and helped everybody else with their problems. I got involved. I was the friend counselor, the mediator. I've been a mediator since I was a kid. I was in everybody's business since I was a kid. But in ways to try to help them. Like I had two really good friends when I was in kindergarten, first grade, and they didn't get along. So I tried to get them to be friends, and it didn't work out at all. Oh well. Either way, I ignored my problems. Well, not ignored them, but I just didn't really pay them any mind. I thought I could just, brush it off to the side and not handle it and it'll be fine, which obviously does not work. I do not recommend that, and you should know better. Prime example, me. At some point, I finally admitted to myself that I did have a problem and that my depression and anxiety were not good companions and weren't healthy companions. So I had a therapist and a neuropsychiatrist who helped me with medication management along with the Tourette's. But it just wasn't what I needed. It wasn't enough. I also have a thing where every 2 to 3 years I get diagnosed with a new medical problem. And Tourette's was the one like almost 3 years ago, and I've got other issues, new ones this year. I never really processed the Tourette's. I never really gave it a chance to sink into me and be like, I'm limited again, new challenges, and I just never had that moment where I actually gave myself the time to, grieve and accept that I have this condition and grieve the loss of, my basic motor functions and that's really what pushed my depression even lower. And then I had school problems and stresses of that. And it just kind of kept piling on and on and on. And this past May, I checked myself into a hospital. A mental hospital. Where I was for about 10 days. And then in a program, an outpatient program, for another for 5 weeks. While at the inpatient care, I got a different diagnosis, which is actually, it's more accurate to what I've been dealing with for the past 10 years, and that was bipolar type 2. And I finally got on the right medication, and let me tell you, it's been amazing. I don't have random suicidal thoughts anymore. My depression is manageable. I know the signs. I'm actually depressed right now, but I know what I'm looking for. I know how to handle it better. I can't thank for the program or the hospital enough for that, in all honesty. But while in the inpatient program, I realized I had another issue. One that I brought up to a therapist like once before. I didn't really think anything of it. This has been around since I was young as well, and there's no cause for it as far as I know. I got some psychological testing done at the outpatient program and finally started opening up about it. But I also deal with psychosis. Yeah, me. Purple hair, piercings, vibrant personality, adventure time lover. I have psychosis. And it's kind of scary to think about. I didn't have this in my life plan. You know, you don't prepare for mental illness or the likes thereof or what you have to deal with. You prepare for car accidents or buying a house or setting up a 401k, and I've got to prepare for seeing things and hearing things and checking with people around me. Did you hear that? Or did you see that? Or did you smell that? Or it's stressful. To say the least, it's stressful. But I'm dealing with it. I'm trying to stay as positive about it as possible. I talk more. I'm more open. I have way better communication now about these things. But I'm dealing with some heavy mental illness. And that's where I've been for the past months. It's July and I'm finally recording a video. I hope that really answers your questions, guys, as to where I've been. You know what? My next video is going to be a Q&A, okay? So I want you to fill down below this video full of questions. Fill the comments with questions if you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't care how many you have. I would love to hear from you guys. You can ask questions about the Tourette's, about CBD oil, about bipolar, psychosis. Like, I'm an open book. I will tell you anything and everything. Because it's important to be honest about conditions like this. It's important to be open about conditions like this because you know what? I think it's healthy. I think it's productive. And I think that if I can help one person, that would be great. If I could just help one person get through the day with like a funny video or just me ranting about conditions and people and ignorance, then bring it. If you want me to, I'm probably going to do another video more on my bipolar and probably one on my psychosis. And I'm trying to keep a diary of it, and I call it the Diary of a Bipolar Psycho. Because you have to find the humor in it. Randomly smelling something. I smelled strawberry Pop-Tarts the other day. There were no strawberry Pop-Tarts. And then I was hungry for strawberry Pop-Tarts and I had none. And I was like, why can't you smell like chocolate? Which actually I did. I've smelled chocolate before. It's just randomly, and then I was like, man, I could go for some chocolate. So I went and bought myself a candy bar. I have a really bad sweet tooth. It's probably why I get so many cavities, but I don't care because I love sugar. I'm back on the couch. The good old couch. I feel like the last time I was here, I was talking about my coprolalia, and I was just like, oh, just fed up with it already. So yeah, this is a very serious futon. Serious matters are debated on this futon. Very serious. Anyways, enough about my futon. I really do hope to hear from you guys. Any questions you have, feel free to put them below. Please be at least somewhat decent. I'm open to just about any question you have. I love answering questions, in all honesty, because you know what? You know what that does? It reduces the stigma. It informs people. I constantly tell people, I was like, I have Tourette's. Any questions? And usually they have about 50 of them. And I'll answer every single one of them. Because by the end of that conversation, they have a better understanding about Tourette syndrome and what I and other Tourette sufferers go through. That's like the best case scenario for anything with Tourette's. Like just having a conversation. I have Tourette's. Ask me about it. But it's been a long time. I'm really glad to be back on the channel. And I hope to be uploading a little regularly. So, again guys, fill the comments below with some questions. I'll be answering some of the ones from other videos as well that I haven't answered yet. I'll just answer them in the video. But if you feel like you need more questions answered, put them below. Hashtag it. Use that old hashtag on Twitter if you have a Twitter account. I still get up there occasionally. Instagram, you can DM me. I've missed you guys. I'm glad to be back. And I'm glad to be better. Toodles!